we will do is we'll write a function for vote transfer. We call it vote transfer. What we need is that we need the address to which the vote is getting transferred. To address. Okay, first we need to check conditions here, whether the person who is trying to transfer is already voted or not. And then we need to check whether there should not be an infinite loop where he tries to transfer to himself. That will create an infinite loop. So first thing, for that we need to get a reference to the person who is going to transfer. So what we need is we need a reference to the person. We call him voter X who is transferring, and we will get the reference in the voter list. Message. So now we have a reference of voter X who is trying to transfer the vote. So now what we need to check whether he is already voted or not. So we need to see if it's already voted or not. So for that, what we do is we do require. What we say is if voter X voted, then only it will, if he's not voted, then he can vote. Otherwise, we will say you have already. Voted, so not transport. That's we cannot transfer, and also he cannot transfer to himself, right? So that is another thing we need to see, that where he is not transferring to himself. That will create an infinite loop. So his message dot sender is not equal to transfer to. So now then we will say message 6 what happens here. Say cannot transfer to. Okay, there's an N missing here. Here as well. He cannot transfer to yourself. Okay. Then what we need is that we need to update this user, saying that he already voted, and then we need to mark this as user already voted because he's going to transfer, right? And then we need to update the user to whom he is transferring also. So if we go here, voted, we need to make it true, and then let's go X dot transfer to which address he transferred his vote. That also we need to capture here. So now from the sender perspective, everything is complete. Now we need to check we need to get a reference to the who's going to receive the votes. So get the reference. How we get the reference? Similar way. Storage. We'll call him voter B, who is going to receive the votes. Is equal. We need to get a reference. Now what we need to do, we need to simply add the votes that are available with X with the B. So what we do is we voter underscore b underscore b dot number of votes, right? It is number of votes. We need to add the number of votes from X. So this way we have transferred successfully the votes from voter X, who is going to transfer the votes to the person B who actually received the votes. So now this is our transfer function where we transfer votes from one voter to another voter. Finally, we are here where we cache the vote. So let's create a function. And what we need is we need the what do you call index of the candidate. I call it index of the candidate whom we are going to vote from the candidate list, and also we also need the number of votes to cast. Why it is important is, suppose since we allow transfer, a candidate have more than one vote to vote, and then for example a voter can have more than one vote. For example, somebody transferred 5 votes, I can have 5 votes with me to vote. So that's why we need to capture the number of votes actually I'm going to vote this time, and we need to check whether let's get the reference to this voter who is going to vote. So again we call him X is equal to voter list. We are going to get the, and then what we're going to do is we're going to check if he already voted or not. So we need to have require where X dot voted. Otherwise we will say you have already voted or transferred your vote. Okay, so message we want to show here, and then we need this. Once we check whether he has already voted or not, we are going to actually cache the vote. And here we need to actually check two conditions before that. One is that if the number of votes, the number of votes he's having is same as the votes to cast. So only then we need to mark it the voted true. That means, for example, I have 10 votes with me, and then I'm using only 5. I should be allowed to use the rest 5 to be used later. So for now, only then the number of votes I have and the votes I'm going to cast are same. Only then we are going to mark this as voted true. Otherwise, we are not going to mark this. So next is if. One more statement we need, if statement, that is if the voter index number of votes is greater than 0, then we do the following. What we need to do is we need to reduce the votes first. That means x dot number of votes is equal to votes minus the votes to cast. So we are reducing the number of votes the voter X is having to reducing the number of votes. And then we are going to actually update the candidate. Now we need to get the candidate list, and then we need to pass the index of the index that we received in this from the voter, and then we need to update the number of votes polled. So votes polled, we need to update it by the number of votes cast. So this way, what we are doing is we are going to get a reference to the voter, then we are checking whether a voter has already voted or not. Then if he's using all the votes he is having, then we're going to mark as voted true. If not, we are going to check if he's having more than a number of votes are more than 0, then we are going to reduce his votes from the votes he's going to cast now, and then we are going to update the candidate with the votes that the voter has casted. So this completes the casting of vote. So now we are going to find the winner. Once selections are completed, then we need to find the winner. So that let's set the function get winner. We don't need to pass anything. We are not going to change anything here, so we can make it view, public view, and then we need to return this. Because what we're going to return is index of the winning candidate. So underscore winner index. That's what we are going to return here. For this, we need to let us get a variable. Okay, so let's say winning vote count, make it 0, and then what we're going to do is we are going to write a first statement. We need to get a for loop where we're going to initialize with the initial value 0, and then condition is that p should be less than the candidate list of length. Okay, we have the candidate list. Right? So candidate list length. And then we increment the here. What we do is we need to check the condition if statement condition if the the candidate votes, okay, who the votes polled are greater than the winning vote count. That means candidates got more votes than the winning vote count. Then we are going to what we are going to do is we are going to update the winning vote count with sorry, this is candidate list. I missed. Sorry for that. List. List. And then we are going to return the index. So what we are doing is we are trying for each candidate we are going to check initially if the candidate is having 6 and 5 votes. So 5 is greater than 0. Then we are going to make the winning vote count as 5, and then the candidate's vote we are going to take 5 as the winning count. For example, when we look to the next candidate, if the next candidate has 7 votes, then we are going to go to votes polled is greater than vote count 5. Then we are going to make the winning count as 7. So third candidate, if example, is going to have got 3 votes, it is it's not greater than, it won't execute. So every time we return we complete this and we find that the winner is the with maximum index. Winner is the index. So now we have winner here. Now we have reached the end of the contract. Now we have to only one last task, that is display the name of the winning candidate. So let's write our last function in this contract. The name and returns a string. We call it name. What we need is equal to we need to from the candidate list we need to pass the ID of the index of the winner. So how do we get? We already have this get winner function, and we are already returning the index of the winner. So get winner function we call it, and then we get the name of the candidate. So this completes our smart contract where we started with defining the candidates, and then we have a list of candidates, then we have voter, then we have list of voters, then we have election officer, then we have election officer creating candidates, then we have election officer create voters, then we where we have where transfer of voters from A to B, then we have a voter casting a vote, then we have find the winner and then display the winner. So now our next thing is to deploy this and then test the contract.